Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel and welcome to this month's end of month bot haul for June 2020. Yes, you can probably see from the thumbnail I had a much better haul this month than last month because last month I was a little upset by the poor turnout of items last month, mainly due to a number of international parcels which didn't arrive in time. But no point crying over spilt milk. This haul has kind of made up for that, or I tried to make up for that with some of the purchases I made this month. A couple of the errant parcels have turned up now, so I've still got that AliExpress one that I bought back in April still up in the air about that. Well, yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. Right, so yes, I've got a bunch of stuff to show you. Now, I've got quite a lot to show you, this might be a lengthy video. I'd rather not this video turn out to be an hour long. So what I'm going to try and do is I've got my mobile down here with a timer app on it. I'm going to give myself roughly about 3 minutes to talk about each item in turn. So if that goes according to plan, this video should run out to about sort of like 48-50 minutes. But I'm giving myself a couple of minutes at the beginning of the video to do my usual chit-chat before I get started. And yeah, so I think we better get started. Okay, so this month, where did it start? Placed a bunch of orders on the 1st. Most notably a bulk order with an eBayer who I've probably mentioned in the last couple of hauls. I've bought items off him this year, and you'll probably crop up in a couple of hauls. A guy called Gerrut Camero. Because I was a bit upset by last month's haul, I decided to make a bulk purchase off him, and I ordered 6 items from him. And yeah, so I added them to my basket, managed to save on the shipping, and they got shipped out. And that was an order I placed on the 1st. So move forward to the 3rd, placed another couple of orders, and then the first of my outstanding parcels arrived, and it is for no less, well, you've probably seen the unboxing video on it, because I did an unboxing video on it, premium, or no, platinum edition leader class Ultra Magnus using the leader class Transformers Prime mould. Now, I've already got a version of this mould. Let's just let me start the 3-minute timer. There we go. So 3 minutes to talk about this guy. Yeah, I've got the Beast Hunters leader class Optimus in there, the green one. It's a good figure. I like the mould. I mean, it's got the old Gatling gun action. But I like Ultra Magnus. It's one of my favourite characters, and I just wanted I've got a few big Ultra Magnus figures, like the Masterpiece and the RID one, and the leader class animated one. So I've got a bunch of big Ultra Magnuses, but I thought I could do with another one, so I decided to get this guy. Now, I wrongly assumed that this was a Year of the Snake edition, because it's supposed to be the Year of the Snake, Chinese New Year edition, but I referred to it as that because there's people on on eBay selling it as such, but apparently this is a mistake. I mean, the reason I bought this is because it comes with a nice flashy box. It's got all that nice shiny chrome on it, and it's got the Velcro gatefold open. So it's a really cool box. But then again, it is a platinum edition, and it came out, according to the date on the back, this came out in 2012, and the Chinese New Year of the Snake was in 2013. So I think that's where some of the confusion over this figure comes from, because it came out around about the same time as Chinese New Year platinum editions. Because it was a platinum edition in a fancy chrome illustrated box, people have mistaken it for a Year of the Snake edition, but it isn't. So bit of confusion there, but it's a great figure. He's big, comes with the Forge of Solus Prime, which is always a good thing, especially with Prime Transformers Prime Ultra Magnus, voiced by Michael Ironside, of course. It's a really good version of Ultra Magnus. So yeah, I'm not so sure about the really dark blue they've used on this. I mean, in the show he had more of a lighter shade of blue, but it'll do. It's good enough. It has some slightly iffy paint apps on it, but apart from that, it's a really good figure. And it was one of my outstanding parcels from previous months, so it finally turned up. So I was happy to get that. Right, now next. Right, so then moving on to the 4th, and my my order from Mr. Gerrut Camero arrived. Again, I did an unboxing video on it, so you kind of know what I've got. And the first figure is this guy. Now this is Revenge of the Fallen Fast Action Battlers Long Haul. Now back in the first 2 movies, they did these Fast Action Battlers, which were like, they were gimmick toys. They were smaller, simpler figures that had simple transformations, but they had a built-in gimmick, that kids could play with. And they're pretty much overlooked by the majority of adult collectors, but I've got 2 of these now, 2 of these Fast Action Battlers from the first 2 movie lines, and they're really good. This thing's amazing. I mean, considering it's a gimmick toy, I mean, he's got a waist joint, he's got really deep knees. I mean, yeah, okay, the arm with the gimmick on, it's got like a punch action, which is a little bit yeah, it doesn't work that well. He's got a punching action in one of his arms, and then when I first got this and messed around with it, I thought it was really good. It's got a fun transformation. The Alt mode looks pretty good. Looks like one of those big quarry dump trucks. He's got a decent amount of molded detail on his chest. Hasn't got a moving head, but he's got a decent amount of molded detail on his head sculpt. Could do some more paint apps, to be honest. But it wasn't until later, and I thought he had 2 solid arms, but then I realised he's got an elbow and a bicep swivel, and it's like, my mind was blown. I mean, considering this is a gimmick toy, he's got a waist joint, he's got really deep knees, he's got a bicep swivel, and this thing's amazing, absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it, and it's got a really good posability considering it's a simplified gimmick toy, and it's fantastic. And I got Blackout from the Fast Action Battlers line as well, and he's an amazing figure. So I might be willing to pick up a couple more of these maybe in the future. I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. But he was the first figure I got from Mr. Gerrut Camero in this bulk order. Then next, it is right. So it's TFC Targetroid's Hot Flame Shattered Glass version. Now, obviously, it's Shattered Glass Rodimus, all about the goatee, and all that. Brilliant little figure. It turns into a gun of a sort. It's a Target Master version. Lovely paint details, great molded details as well. Shiny silver bits. He's got the purple flames on his chest. Simple transformation. Nice tight joints. Didn't come with any instructions, but it's a decent little figure. I mean, I've got 3 of these TFC Targetroids now. I've got the Opta Aim and Megashotten. I wanted to get the Megatron version, so that's why I bought that. The Megatron toy, it ain't very good, but the Optimus version's all right, and so is this. And these things do tend to go for quite a bit of money because they're quite rare and hard to find, and if you can get them boxed, they command a premium. They're only small and fairly basic, and they're some of TFC's early sort of products. So you could argue that the build quality is not the greatest, but there's nothing wrong with this figure. I mean, look, joints are all nice and tight on it. It's a fantastic little figure and really great. And he was the second item I got from Mr. Gerrut Camero. Next, Dark of the Moon Legion Topspin. Now, I've got the Leadfoot version, the Legion class Leadfoot, and he's brilliant. He's an absolutely fantastic figure. In fact, I think he made it onto one of my top bots of the year list. He's that good. This one, not so much. Partly due to the fact that the sides of the car form these massive great kibble wings, and they sort of ruin the robot mode because you've got all these big lumps sticking out here. I mean, it's a shame they couldn't have put a joint in where they folded up onto the shoulders. He's got some moulded detail on his chest. It's a shame they never bothered to pick it out in the paint, and the reason being is because of the alt mode. Now, very simple to transform, and you get this little NASCAR. Now, I've done a bit of research, and this is a accurate representation of Jimmy Johnson, NASCAR 48 driver, Lowe's Chevy Impala from the 2010-2011 season, and it's very close, very good representation of that, considering it's such a small figure. You can see where the budget for the paint went for this figure. It went onto the alt mode to make this, got the Lowe's logo there, it's got the 48 logo on the side, it's got all his paintwork on it. That's where all the money went. And then when you get to the robot mode, there's hardly any paint on the robot mode. Kind of disappointing. I wanted to get it because it's it's Dark of the Moon Wreckers. I've got a sort of like a little thing for the Dark of the Moon Wreckers. I like collecting them when I can. I want to get the Legion class Roadbuster. He's the only one I need, but he's like really rare and goes for a stupid price for a little Legion figure. So yeah, got hold of him. Again, he was the third item I ordered as part of this this sort of bulk order I did. It was the Gerrut Camero. And then the next figure, Fansproject Warbot Defender. Now, this one's kind of special because this is the first third-party figure that Fansproject ever made. This came out in 2010, so it's 10 years old, and yeah, it's really loose. When I did my unboxing video, I thought this was a new figure. It's not. It's a used figure. Gerrut Camero had about 5 or 6 of these on his site, all selling them all for like really cheap prices. So I decided to get it. I've been thinking about getting this guy for a while, but I've never really plucked up the courage to get him. I like Fansproject stuff. I've got a bunch of Fansproject stuff. In fact, I think they're my third most popular third-party product in my collection, behind Toy World and is it Mastermind Creations? Anyway, yeah, it's got a lot of looseness on it. Transformation's kind of fiddly, but that's not the reason why I bought it. I bought it because of what it represents. This is one of the first, sort of third-party figures to come out. It was definitely the first for Fansproject. I mean, there are some other figures that came out before this, one of which you're going to see later in the haul. Little teaser there for later on. He's really good. It's a shame he's loose. He won't stand up for toffee. He's got a lot of die cast in his backpack, and he's got no heel spurs to speak of, so he falls over backwards quite a lot on a flat surface. But yeah, I wanted to get him, and I've got him. I've got a couple of the Warbots now. I'd like to get Assaulter. Is it Assaulter? The broadside one. I'd like to get hold of him, but he's quite pricey. Yeah, so managed to get hold of him. And he was the 4th item I got from Gerrut Camero. So I'll keep having to reset this timer for every 3 minutes so I can keep this video nice and short, not too long. There we go, starting off again. Right, the next one. Transformers Alternity Ultra Magnus. Now, this is one of those figures I bought it on a whim. I saw the box, I saw the figure, it turns into a Nissan GTR. Alt mode's amazing. The Alternity was like a follow-on from the Alternators series, slightly smaller, more die cast on them, and it was a series that sort of was exclusive to Japan, and this is one of the figures they did. However, yeah, this guy is very loose. I mean, the legs can barely hold their own weight. There is quite a bit of die cast on this guy. The way the thing's been engineered, like the front seats of the car fold into the arms, and the arms are a bit weedy on it. Yeah, not a huge fan of this thing. Transformation's fiddly. I don't like the design of the legs on it. And like I said, again, this thing dates from about let's have a look. 2008, so it's 12 years old, and you know it's definitely showing its age. Yeah, so I bought it because, one, it's Ultra Magnus, it's a white Prime Ultra Magnus, and it turns into a Nissan GTR, so that's why I pulled the trigger on it. It was also kind of cheap. I mean, I got this for just over 25 quid. So, I mean, yeah, it's a used figure, but, you know, it's in reasonably good condition. But, you know, when I actually started messing with it, it's not that great, to be honest. I mean, some of the designs on it, not that fantastic, and, you know, the amount of wear and tear and looseness it's got on it. And it has got some damage on it, though Mr. Camero did show pictures of the damage in the auction, so I knew what I was buying. I know I was getting a slightly scuffed figure. I mean, it's got like a scratch mark on the windscreen and a scuff on the rear roof section. But yeah, apart from that, it's a thing. I bought it. Haven't quite got buyer's regret, but you know, it's not far off. But yeah, managed to get hold of him. And then the last figure, Alternators Tracks. Now, I saw it in his shop. He had it. Now, this is the thing about Mr. Gerrut Camero. Sometimes when I mean, the majority of the stuff he sells is used, right? It's used. He doesn't really sell new stuff. He sells used stuff. But he has a huge selection. He's like over 700 items in his shop. And his prices are really good. He has like this blanket shipping price to the UK of about 14 quid. But if you do like me, you add a number of items to the order, that, you know, to your basket and do it as one purchase. You know, it just you just pay the one shipping price, and you know, you can save money that way. I was looking at it, and the car mode, it's a Chevrolet Corvette C5Z06 that this transforms into, and the car mode's beautiful. And if you've been watching Cletus McFarland on YouTube, he's recently bought one of these as a drift car and called it Donny. And yeah, so when he was at his Burnout Rivals contest, he took the bonnet off because it was getting a bit hot, left it on the grass, and one of the other guys like ran over it for a dare. Vaughan Getting Jr., when he was doing his sort of burnout thing, he ran over the bonnet over the grass and put some great tyre marks across it, when Cletus was none too plussed about that. But anyway, yeah, I've got a few Alternators figures. This one's all right. I mean, this is quite old, but it's really solid. There's hardly any loose joints on this. So this figure has obviously spent most of his life in car mode, I would imagine, seeing as the car mode is so gorgeous. Yeah, watched Mr. Vangelis's review on it, and yeah, decided to get it. It's a decent figure. Like most Alternators, you know, it's bit of a fiddly thing to pose and get it to stand up, even though he's got fairly substantial heel spurs. It's got a lot of weight sort of distributed around his person, and he struggles to stand up properly, or you know, if you try to pose him, he won't. He likes to fall over. But apart from that, it's a decent figure, nice and blue, fit nice and solid. So yeah, got hold of him. Alternators Tracks, and he was the last figure I got from this huge lot from Mr. Gerrut Camero. I can thoroughly recommend you go onto eBay if you're looking for, you know, some older bots to buy. Go and check him out on eBay. He's got masses and masses of bots, all sorts of toy lines. Just go check him out. I can thoroughly recommend it. And the shipping, I mean, I ordered it on the 1st and it arrived on the 4th. It like 3 days later from Holland. You know, I've bought a bunch of stuff off him lately, and the shipping's been really quick and simple, and I love the guy. He's great. I will probably be making purchases from him in the future, especially during this time of the COVID crisis. You know, international shipping's all screwed up at the moment, you know, what with one thing or another. You can get stuff from one of my friends in Europe, Mr. Gerrut Camero. If I remember, I'll put a link in the description to his you know, eBay site, so if you want to go check him out, you can do. If I remember to do that, because I'm great at saying, oh, do this, do that, and then forgetting later. But we'll see. Right, so that's that. Right, moving on to the next arrivals. Then I did a bunch of purchases off Amazon. I went onto Amazon and bought a few items, starting with this guy. Now, again, I think it's one of the figures I've done an unboxing on, so you know I've got it. Transformers Cyberverse Hammerbite. He's one of the new Warrior class figures that they've bought out for the last couple of lines they're doing because you know, the TV show's finished now, right? So Cyberverse is done. Stick a fork in it, it's done. There is a few more toy lines. They keep announcing new toys that are coming out for the Cyberverse line, but it ain't going to last much longer. You'll be lucky if you get any new Cyberverse releases past the end of this year. So it's probably got less than 6 months left, and then it'll be done and dusted. But this guy came out. I saw a few people doing reviews on it, most notably Chuck in America. He did a review on it, and I like the look of it. Sharkybot, it's got a nice little robot mode. It's got a decent amount of articulation. For a Warrior class figure, that's unheard of. And he has got a gimmick, which is operated off one of the arms. You just pull the arm down, and then his shark head comes round. But, you know, the gimmick's quite simple. It's unintrusive. You know, if you're careful, you know, you can pose this guy quite happily without the gimmick going off. And he's a great little figure. Turns into a shark, you know, a robotic hammerhead shark. So he's like the Autobot equivalent of Skybite, I suppose. Decent transformation, decent bot mode. His days, Emily, she likes collecting her shark box. Have you got one of these yet? Yeah. The only thing is, it's the price I paid for it. Because I saw it had come out, it was on Amazon for like about nearly 23 quid. And I knew full well that if I'd have waited a couple of months, this thing will turn up in Smith's for like $16.99 or less. But I wasn't prepared to wait for that. So, like I said, I had a glut of money, so I pulled the trigger on it and probably paid over the odds for it. But, you know, he's a great little figure, though. I'm glad I bought him. He's a fantastic little figure, decently posable. Yeah, what more could you want for a late wave Cyberverse Warrior class? He's great. So that was my first purchase from Amazon this month. Then I went and got a box set, Studio Series box set. It's the retro. What's it called again? So I've got some notes down here. Dum de dum de dum de dum de dum. That's it. Retro Rock Garage Volume 1, and it's the one that's got the golden Z28 Camero, and it comes with 2 reissue G1 Dinobot cassettes. Now, if you go back a couple of years, this box set came out, I think, was it 2 years ago? And people were buying it up. They were stripping out the Dinobot cassettes, because this is the first time these molds had been sort of reissued since G1 times. You know, people were mad to get hold of them, you know, because there's a lot of G1, you know, cassette collectors out there, including like Mr. Juice 84. You know, if you're still watching my videos, yeah, you've probably got these guys. Anyway, so the gold Bumblebee in the set, people were palming them off, and I saw somebody at TF Nation had one for like loose for 10 quid, and I was almost tempted to buy it, but it was late on the sort of Sunday evening when I'd you know, spent all my money. Well, not quite all my money. I had some about 40-50 quid left, and I was just cruising the halls to see if there's any other bits I could pick up. And I saw one, I picked it up, and I thought about it, but then I put it down. I thought, nah, I ain't bothered, because I knew that this mould is based on the concept Camero mould from Transformers: The Last Night, and that is a horrible mould. I hate it. But I wanted to get a version of this mould. I wanted to get the clunker version with, you know, in the dirty yellow with all the damage on it. But because of, you know, the COVID crisis, I went to go up to Smith's to get it, but I had to do that click and collect, and they haven't got it listed on their website, so I couldn't get it. And buying it off Amazon or eBay, you know, people are asking way over 25-30 quid for it, and it's like, I wasn't prepared to pay that. So got this guy in this set for 45 quid, which, I don't know, you can argue whether that's a good price or not. So I got this. Again, it's okay. It's not too bad. It's just one of those things. It's a Bumblebee mold. I mean, yeah, it's got the whole floppy hip syndrome. Transformation on this is not too bad. It took me a while to figure out how to unpeg the hood, the grill from the front of the chest, because it was a bit stuck in to begin with. But he's all right. He's okay. Most of the joints, transformation joints, especially these feet things, because this is what I don't like about this mould, is the way they've done the feet. They're not floppy like they are on the last night version. But yeah, I got this in that lot, so he was a thing. But the other thing that came with it was these little dyno cassettes. Now, they've got some weird names. Where are they? I can't remember what them. Oh, here we go. Right, so they are, what's it? I don't know how to pronounce this properly. Uruaz and Dairu. Now, I'm not sure which one's which. I mean, they combine together. You know, you can take them apart. But no, they combine together to form a little bot. And they're all right. One turns into like a Velociraptor. What does the other one turn into? Oh, I can't remember. Well, they turn into little Dinobots, and yeah, like I said, people were buying these packs to strip these out and sell them separately at scalper prices. But they're all right. It wasn't until I was playing with it later that I noticed they'd got rub symbols on, and when you rub the rub symbols, one's an Autobot and one's a Decepticon, and I thought, oh, they combine together and they're from two different factions. Are they supposed to do that? So maybe they're not supposed to combine together. I mean, they did do the Retro Rock Garage Volume 2, which had the gold VW Bumblebee mould, and it came with 2 more cassettes, so maybe those are the partner bots to go with these, and then you can get another combiner out of it. I don't know. But, so yeah, they was kind of a Brucey bonus, I suppose. I wasn't really looking to get these things, but I've got them, and they're all right. You know, I'm not really a huge fan of... Well, I'm not a massive fan of you know, G1 cassettes, but it's nice to get these. And that was that. So that was my second purchase from Amazon, and the third purchase I made from Amazon is a figure that I've had on my sort of wish list for a while. I can't remember how long it's been on there for, but I've never actually pulled the trigger on it, and because of reasons, and I never saw it in the shops until now. And also a repaint of the same mould came out, and I got that earlier in the year, and that was that World War II Hot Rod. So the figure I'm showing to you now is the World War II Bumblebee. Now, I didn't really need to get this. There's a couple of things about this that are very good. One, the alt mode is totally wrong. In the movie The Last Night, in that World War II scene where the Allies are attacking that German headquarters in that big stately house, Bumblebee transforms into like a German staff car. And that's what the Toy World version does, which I've got. So I've got Toy World Green Hornet, and I wanted to get this as like a comparison piece to go with it. But I put it off until now. But I saw it was in Amazon. It was on my watch list, and the price sort of came down to below 20 quid, so I decided to get it. Because, again, I wanted to make sure I get some bots this month. I mean, yeah, it's got really floppy legs. It's got masses of kibble on the back. When you're transforming it, bits pop off all over the place. Yeah, so there's not a lot that's very good about this mould. It doesn't really peg together properly in alt mode, and there's a lot of unsightly gaps on it. But I like the colours, and I like the angular sort of riveted armour plates that he's got on his robot mode. That looks pretty cool. So he looks kind of cool in robot mode, but everything else about it ain't right. It just ain't right. So yeah, I got him as well. So he was like the final sort of Amazon purchase I made this month. And that was that. So, next. Now, this is where things go a little bit pear-shaped. Right, so where are we? I've got a number of notes down here so I can keep track of where I am. Right, blah 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 blah. Right, yeah. So going back to, where was it? Right, it was actually on the 3rd. I decided, even though I was having trouble with these outstanding parcels, that I ordered last month that were taking a dog's age to arrive, I'd be foolish to send out for another international parcel, especially from the Far East. Well, there's a new figure that's come out that I've been looking to get hold of. It's the Takara legendary Nemesis Prime. It's basically that Bumblebee leader class, Age of Extinction Optimus Prime, but done in Nemesis colours. And apparently it's a 7-net exclusive in Japan. It's like a mall exclusive. And it's all of a sudden it's appeared on eBay, but the prices were all over the shop. There was people asking way over 100 quid for this thing. But I found somebody, a seller in Japan, who was selling it for around about, I think it's about just under 80 quid, about 77 quid. And so I made a purchase with it. And then the following day, I got contacted by the seller. And he said to me, oh, there's this shipping embargo on with international packages with Japan Post. If you send it Japan Post, I can't tell you when. I can't say when you'll get it. It'll be out. It'll be unnecessarily delayed. So he offered me the option of paying him an additional $10, and he would send it FedEx courier. And I thought about it, and I thought, you know what, I'm down with that. So after a few messages went backwards and forwards over eBay, he sent me an invoice to my PayPal account, and I paid him the $10, and he shipped it. And then on the 11th, it arrived. So there we go. The exclusive, more exclusive, Nemesis Prime repaint of the legendary Bumblebee Evasion Mode Optimus Prime. Yeah, wow. This thing's really, really nice. I mean, look at the chrome, look at the teal on it. It's really nice figure. A little bit small though. I mean, I was expecting it to be a bit bigger than this. I mean, I've got the Weijang M01, which is a lot bigger than this. And you put it next to another sort of leader class figure. Put it next to Combiner Wars Megs, you can see he's a little bit short. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit disappointed in the size, the height of him, but apart from that, brilliant figure. And yeah, and it arrived. I ordered it on the. When did I order it on? I ordered it on the 3rd, and it arrived on the 11th. So, yeah, it was pretty quick. I was quite pleased with that. And yeah, it arrived. I enjoyed it, and. Yep, so that was a thing. Also, I forgot to mention the Bumblebee arrived on the 6th. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Now, then the 12th. First of my KTRTs arrived. Done an unboxing on him. Yeah. No, actually, no, I haven't done an unboxing on it, have I? I've done a review on him. That was it. Yeah, so I've actually done a review for the first time in months. Hello, Carbots. Save the Moon, Sonar Diver. He's a great figure. He's pretty big, bit lightweight. Turns into like a submarine that kind of looks like Alvin, the famous Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute deep sea submersible. I really like him. He's really cool. He's got a decent amount of articulation. Some sort of interesting accessories that can plug in various places, but he's a nice solid figure, and no hollowness here. He's really good, and he's the first KTRT bot I've bought since January, and it's the first KTRT I've reviewed since January. So yeah, I managed to knock out a review on it. So there we go. Got hold of him. Then On the 16th, I placed a pre-order for with Kapow, a pre-order deposit. I was at work, I was placing a pre-order deposit, and it was for the Mastermind Creations R44 Tortor, which is their final figure in their DJD figures. I mean, next month I'm going to try and get hold of Moore's R34. Mastermind Creations reformatted R43 Moore's. The Helix figure. He's kind of just come out, but he's like in very short supply and kind of expensive. My mate Mr. Netcloud's got it in his eBay shop, but he's asking over 200 quid for it, and it's like, no way am I paying that for it. But I'm going to try and get it, from other means, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Anyway, after I did this, I got an alert on my phone, and it was a text message from FedEx saying, "Oh, you need to pay. You have a customs duty charge of like £30.65 to pay." And I didn't think nothing of it. It came through, and I thought, "Oh no, not a customs hit. No, not now." But I actually had a few, parcels inbound, so I thought that this was a customs hit for one of those parcels. So I picked it up, went onto the website, paid the fee, and then I was a bit suspicious. I thought, well, hang on a minute, FedEx, what's this tracking code here? So I copied and pasted the tracking code, went round again, went back into FedEx, and checked the tracking code, and lo and behold, it was for this thing that got delivered on the 11th. Now, this customs fee summons came through on the 16th, 5 days later. When I found out what had happened, I went ballistic. I went absolutely mad. I was furious with FedEx. How could they do this? I mean, I'm used to getting customs hits, and it's a thing. Anything you import into the country is liable to get stopped and charged with import duty. That's just part of the course. Not everything does get charged with import duty, because there's so many packages coming through UK customs that they can't stop and charge every parcel that comes through, because there'd just be a massive great log jam of undelivered parcels. So they sort of pick parcels at random. At least I assume that's how it works, and they'll pick it up. They'll take all the information off the shipping label, how much the contents of the value, and then they'll send you an email or a text message or an invoice. They'll say, right, your package has been stopped. We will not deliver it until you pay this fee, blah, blah, blah. They basically hold your parcel to ransom until you pay the fee. But FedEx, what the fuck, man? What the fuck, FedEx? You sent me the summons for this figure 5 days after. 5 days later, after the parcel had been delivered. Now, when I get customs hits on parcels, on packages, especially if it's a parcel I didn't want a customs hit on, it really, it really ruins my enjoyment of the figure. But I got this guy before that happened, so it didn't upset me about it. I mean, I still like this thing quite a lot. What's not to like? It's a Nemesis Prime. They're always rather good. But it was just, I was so cross and angry with FedEx for doing this. I didn't go onto their website and complain about it. I thought, what's the point? I mean, yes, it's a duty payment. I mean, I thought it was a scam after a while. I thought I'd been done by a scam, so I had to go onto my bank account later to make sure that somebody hadn't emptied my account. But fortunately, it wasn't a scam; it was official. But man, I couldn't believe that. I mean, their excuse for sending me the fine was, they said because it was a parcel that came outside of the European Union, it was liable for for duty payments. That was their excuse for doing it. But why they would do it 5 days after it'd been delivered? That's ridiculous. That's so arse about tit to the way things usually work. I've never known a package to be delivered and then you get sent the customs summons after the package has been delivered. That just never happens. But why it happened to me? And of course, it then put the price of this guy up, and he's now on my list of most expensive bots that I own. Instead of paying like nearly 75, 77, 80 quid, he's like, oh, 108, 113, something like that. This guy cost. I mean, admittedly, there are eBay scalpers asking more than that for this figure on eBay at the moment, but still, I paid way more than I wanted to for this figure. And but I don't blame this guy. I don't blame the eBay seller who offered me the opportunity to send the thing, FedEx for an extra $10. I mean, I thought that was brilliant. I think if only more sellers could do that. But if this is, the price you pay for, using a little bit of initiative, then count me out. But yeah, I was properly upset by that. And right, so that's that little rant out of the way. Let's carry on. Right, so the next thing to arrive on the 17th, the day after, was my next KTRT. Hello Carbots, Technomaster. Now, I haven't done a review on this guy yet. I've done the thumbnail for it. I will be doing a review on this guy next month. I've decided to hold him over for next month because I don't know how many things I'm going to get next month, because I'm looking to make some very big heavyweight purchases, and it's going to use up the majority of my budget next month with only like 2 or 3 figures. So yeah, I think I might save this for next guy. He's all right. Again, a little bit small. He's about the same size as this guy. So if you put him next to proper leader class figure, he's a little bit short. And you put him next to Carbots of old, he comes up about a head short. But design wise, this guy's really good. I mean, his alt mode is almost like a futuristic, almost police car like thing. And he's called Technomaster, but that doesn't mean techno as in technological. It means techno as in techno music. He's got like a monocle on his face, and I have seen an episode with him in, and he's quite a good figure. He's got some interesting engineering, especially the way the legs work is pretty cool. But he's like a Carbot of old. He's got nice clicky ratchety joints, and sweet, simple, intuitive transformation, and a decent car mode. So yeah, he's a really good figure, and like I said, I'll be doing a review on him next month. But yeah, hello Carbots. Technomaster. And then we're on to the final thing to arrive this month. And I'm doing all right for time. It's only 43 minutes. This is pretty good. So, going back to this guy, Warbot Defender. He's one of the earliest sort of third-party figures to come out, and after buying this, I thought, what other early third-party figures are there out there? And I did a little bit of research, not too much. I didn't, go too deep into it. And then I discovered there is another figure that's done by TFC in 2008. In fact, it was TFC's first full-on third-party figure. And yeah, so I watched a couple of videos, and I saw somebody was selling it on eBay, and I thought, what the hell's this thing? So I did a bit of research into it, and I watched a review of it, and I thought, actually, that looks pretty neat, and I'll try and get one. And I found a seller in Spain who was doing one at a really decent price. Now, this is it. TFC EX002 Battle Rollar. So it's their third-party rendition of Rollar from, Optimus Prime's trailer, but made into a full-on figure. And I love the artwork on this box, this sort of film noir, sort of black and white outline artwork. I love that. I've got another couple of figures with box art like this, but it works so well for this guy. I mean, he's got like a little gatefold, comes with a really bunch of accessories, and here he is. Now he's really fiddly, kind of fragile actually. He's got pretty much all his joints are ball joints, and he's got a few loose joints, but he's not too bad. He's not too worn out, given his age, because 2008. That's really early for a third party figure. He's not very big. Wow, you put him next to a modern warrior class figure. which is slightly smaller than the average deluxe. So he's about deluxe size. Got quite a lot of sort of hollowness in the back, but he's got God knows how many modes. You can plug him onto various Optimus Prime like the M01 and what's the other one? Classics Optimus Prime. You can like turn him into a jetpack for those guys. So he's got lots of possibilities, and I thought I'd get it. I watched Vangelus's review on it, and he was fairly glowing about it. But the main reason why I bought this is because of what it represents historically. I mean, forgive me if I got this wrong, but this is, in my opinion, this is at least as far as I'm aware, from what research I've done, this is the first full-on third-party figure done by anybody. This is it. This is ground zero. This is day one of the third-party movement. So this is Genesis, basically, for third-party figures. TFC did some third-party add-ons before this, but this is their first full figure. And that's the reason why I've got it, for historical value. I mean, so I've got two of the earliest sort of third-party figures this month, which they're pretty cool. They're really decent. So, yeah, got hold of him. He's a pretty cool figure. Like I said, he's quite dainty, quite fragile, I would say. So you don't want to play with him too roughly. I'm not saying you're going to break him, but there's not much to him. But he looks pretty cool, and his robot mode reminds me a lot of this guy when he's transformed. Obviously, I haven't bothered to transform into robot mode, but it's basically the Beast Machine's Megatron. It turns from the flying head into sort of like the big robot mode. But yeah, when this guy's transformed, he looks a lot like this. They look very, very similar, so that's another reason why I bought him. But yeah, TFC EX002 Rollar. Genesis of the third-party movement. So that is that. That is my haul for this month. Like I said, I will admit that order I did at the beginning of the month with Mr. Gerrut Camero on eBay was for those 6 items was me trying to make up for last month's poor showing. A couple of my international parcels turned up. My KTRTs and Ultra Magnus turned up. Still got another package in the air at the moment, that AliExpress package with those 2 sort of like KO third-party figures in that I'm waiting to turn up. I mean, it's already been, 2 months, and it's still no sign of it. But I'm hoping to get a resolution on that next month. Speaking of next month, like I said, don't know what my haul's going to be like next month, because I'm planning on making some big purchases next month. Most notably, Scorponok, Earthrise Titan class Scorponok. I'm going to probably try and get him, because I've heard rumours that he should be hitting the UK anytime now. I mean, there was rumours that Kapow was going to get him in stock before the end of the month, but there's a good chance he will arrive some point next month. So I'm going to throw some money down on him. And I'm trying to get hold of this Mastermind Creations R43 Moors as well. Trying to get hold of him. But options are limited. There's a few places that have got it in stock. I mean, it's still very much in pre-order, because they haven't... It's been messed up. The release schedule on that thing has been kind of messed up, because I think they've not really made a full production run on them, and what few there are, they're sort of scattered around various retailers, and it's getting kind of difficult to get hold of. But I've got a few options to explore, which I will probably look into tomorrow. So with that said, it's the end of the video, and first and worst. Now, it took me... I mean, the first was pretty obvious, but the worst, I had a number of different candidates for the worst bot of the month, but I sort of sat down and sort of worked it out, what exactly is what, and I've come up with this. First and worst. So first, long haul, you know, Fast Action Battlers Long Haul, he is just so amazing. I love this thing. This thing is so brilliant. It's such a fun toy to mess around with. Yeah, okay, it's a sort of like a dumbed down kids toy with a gimmick built in, but it's still got a decent amount of articulation and it looks really cool and great fun to play with. He was a shoe-in for the top bot of the month for me. And then, yeah, movie Bumblebee. I mean, yeah, there is that. When I did my haul in January, I got the hot rod version of this mold, and it was very close to getting the worst spot of that particular haul. But then I got, you know, Robot Train's Duck, and he disappointed me on a whole new level, and so he became my worst spot of January. But so this mold's making up for it this month with World War II Bumblebee being my pick of the bunch for the worst figure I got this month. And that is that. Yep, got the video under an hour. Yeah, like I said, I was using my mobile, the timer on my mobile, to keep the chats for each of the individual figures down to less than 3 minutes. The alarm didn't actually go off. I kept resetting it, and yeah, I think I did really well this month. Like I said, next month, don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Planning on getting some big expensive bots next month. I did actually go over budget this month. I mean, I usually budget for 400 quid, but I went over budget, mainly thanks to that customs charge I got on you know, the legendary Nemesis Prime. So I placed a sneaky order today for a large Earthrise figure, not Scorponok, another large Earthrise figure that I've been thinking of, well, I've been looking at getting. And so he will be arriving in the next couple of days, so we'll probably be doing an unboxing on that. So that's it for this month. I've been TFR Wilderness. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you all next time. Ta-da!
It's a big blue egg.